you say something about the gift that Christianity brings to?
Certainly, I think that Christianity is a religion that is almost unique in the sense, in a very specific sense, and that is actually how it redefines gender roles. Many people today are not aware of the fact that Christianity is really almost the only religion that, to the best of my knowledge, now I admit that I haven't really studied every religion that's out there today on this big globe, but Christianity is a religion that allows, for instance, women to fully participate in worship. And we talked about the Eucharist. We haven't mentioned baptism yet. There's something which is common to both Eucharist and baptism, which is a very simple reality. Both are open to men and women. I want to mention that because baptism is obviously the kind of the initiation ritual into Christianity. If you want to be a Christian, you have to be baptized. Okay, so you sprinkle water on somebody and again purify that person. We need to recognize that actually baptism replaced at some point something that was another initiation rite into Judaism, and that was circumcision. Now, circumcision is only available to men. And that is still reflected in the worship practice in many other religions today, but also in Judaism, for instance, that in Orthodox Jewish communities, for instance, women are still not allowed to participate in synagogue worship, which means the ones who are actually in the synagogue, again that's more the Orthodox type, will be men, and exclusively men. Okay. And the synagogue will at some point, in the back portion of it, have a little room that is walled off, which means there's really a solid wall, and typically still a window, and women can watch how men worship. But they're not allowed to fully participate. The same actually is the case in a Muslim mosque. I leave it to others to come to terms with this. I just want to say that Christianity, with regard to that, is different. It actually allows women to fully participate, and as far as I know the New Testament text, there is frequent mention of the fact that Jesus actually did count women among his followers. Certainly the 12 disciples have been men, that's true, and they have a prominent position, but already in the epistle of Paul to the Romans, there is mention of, in chapter 16, of a female apostle, whose name, by the way, is Junia. So we actually do need to recognize that very early on, the Christian community allowed women to participate in a very central fashion in whatever Christianity had to offer, and did allow women in the highest offices and positions within Christianity. To the point that if Paul, in the epistle to the Galatians, fights against circumcision, we could actually take that really as an expression of fighting for the right of women to be a full member of the Christian community. Because if Paul's opponents would have won the battle, we are kind of in Galatians witnessing a battle between Paul and other people. If we're understanding what this is all about, then it's really about reducing women to a second rank again, or to the status of not fully members. So which actually means that Christianity has been a very open club to at least 50% of the population back then, which is to women, and also to pretty much everybody else who wanted to join it. The initiation rites were very simple, could be executed by almost everybody, anywhere. So it was a surprisingly open club. It was not an exclusive club. It stretched out its hands and opened its doors to everybody who wanted to participate.